Undercurrent, sponsored by John Hughes in Victoria Park. Choose your station before you choose your program. Absolutely.
Hello and welcome back to Undercurrent. I'm Christy Molliker. Well, the week just gone here in Australia was Schizophrenia Week. And next up, Janae Tomlinson reports on exactly what you need to know.
We're here at the Physical Health Expo run by the Mental Illness Fellowship of WA. This week, being National Schizophrenia Awareness Week, the Expo aims to bring awareness to the many issues surrounding mental health in WA.
Once you've been in the mental health circuit for as long as I have, which has been since I was about 20 years of age, I would like to ideally reach a point of recovery where I'm not as dependent on medication.
The major mental illnesses in Australia are delirium, schizophrenia, anxiety disorders and depression, bipolar disorder, which also used to be known as manic depression.
This is our main event for Schizophrenia Awareness Week, and we're trying to raise awareness of physical health issues for people with mental illness because they are often ignored. And we know now that people with mental illness die up to 25 years younger than the rest of the population because of issues they face with heart conditions and diabetes and stroke. Many of them smoke a lot. They have obesity problems. So we're trying to promote a healthy lifestyle.
We're here promoting our new program called Tobacco Free. It's part of MIFWA, part of the Mental Illness Fellowship of Western Australia. It's designed to support people to help reduce or to quit smoking that have a mental illness.
The Family Support Programme is funded to work with families in the North Metro area, so it's families where there's a member with a mental illness and with children under the age of 18 living within that home environment. And it's basically working with the families to identify what the main issues are, the main concerns that they'd like some support with, and basically helping people link back into their local community and build their supports so that hopefully one day they won't need our kind of services.
It's not just about MIFWA. We've got other agencies, non-government organisations also promoting what they do in the physical health space to encourage people with mental illness to access that the rest of us can so easily.
Well, we are employed by the Australian Red Cross. We work with the Commonwealth Respite and Care Link Centre. Basically what we do, especially in relation to mental health, is we support carers of people with mental health illness, particularly with the MIFWA programs. We can assist financially for the carers or the recipients to attend the programs and just kind of support carers in seeking respite and having a break from their caring role.
Yeah, well, Lorikeet Centre's basically a psychosocial rehab. It's, as I say, the social part, but there's also people, in hospitals or out of hospitals, they can get support from staff and from their fellow members.
PFLAG is a wonderful organisation. It's parents, families and friends of lesbians and gays who will argue for their kids and their friends and relatives to have rights in this world because, a few years ago it was almost illegal to be gay, It was bizarre because that's how people are born. And how can you make it illegal?
Trans community is a support group and social group for people with transsexualism. They're basically born that way. You would never notice who they are. They walk past you in the street, they serve you coffee in a coffee shop. There might be a computer programmer in a company you work for. They might be in the medical industry. You just never know. So we don't actually stand out a great deal. And expos like this give us the ability to publicise who we are.
The media tend to portray and sensationalise things, whereas we know that people with mental illness are more likely to be victims of crime rather than perpetrators. So we work very hard at reducing stigma through events like these and other events that we do every year and all around the country through our national fellowship.
They didn't have sugarless gum in those days, so I was constantly sucking lollies, chewing gum, which was sugar. I'd get toothache, and I think, oh my God, better go to the dental hospital. And they say, oh, no, you have to be there at 8 o'clock, you have to sit there and wait.
There's actually quite a significant connection between issues of mental illness, people who are living with particularly serious mental illness, and problems around dental health. Obviously there's the more immediate issues of loss of teeth and bad breath, if you like, poor oral hygiene, but unfortunately there's also a direct link between poor oral health and much more serious illnesses as well, including heart problems. So I think that it's really important that we actually get this issue addressed, and it's important that we look at dental health for people with mental illness from a preventative perspective as a matter of priority.
I just hope that this event is a success and that we achieve our aim of encouraging the government to look at physical health issues, and also to encourage agencies to incorporate physical health activities in all their care plans.
There's no denying there is a wide range of issues surrounding mental illnesses in Perth. Organisations such as MIFWA are providing a fantastic support service. I'm Janae Tomlinson, reporting for Undercurrent.
Every morning, thousands of West Australians catch public transport into the city. Yet a common sight now on our rail platforms is of congestion, with many people having to wait for 1 or even 2 trains to pass before being able to board. Well, a new campaign called Transverse Sardines is hoping to put pressure on the government to increase its rail services.
Look, it's about allowing people to get involved and to become part of a campaign to get more trains. We've been campaigning as a political party now for a couple of years about the need for more trains, and what we thought was that it's about time we actually allowed the community to become involved in that campaign. This gives people plenty of opportunities to participate and help send the message to Mr Barnett and Mr Buswell that we need more trains and we need them now. They've been very dismissive of it, as they have been about our ongoing campaign to get more trains. But I'm confident as the campaign builds, and it will take a bit of time, but as it builds and gets out there through the community and more people become involved, I'm hoping that we'll get such great pressure that the government can no longer continue to dismiss the campaign or the need to invest in more public transport. As a Labor Party, we are sick and tired of being the only party that has invested in the Perth rail network over the last 30 years. We're the only party that has built new rail track in Perth over the last 30 years. We also electrified the system. We, reopened the Fremantle line some 30 years ago after the Liberals had closed it. When we were last in government, we spent in real dollar terms $3 billion on expanding the capacity of the public transport system. This current government is spending around $500 million over about a 6-year period. It's simply not enough to keep up with the demand that's out there.
Minister for Transport Troy Buswell declined to comment on camera but did release this statement, saying this stunt is nothing more than a fundraising attempt in disguise. And rather than providing the people of Perth with any information about improving public transport, all Labor has done so far is ask Perth people to contribute funds for a political campaign. He's also said that the Liberal National Government is spending $165 million on 45 new rail carriages, as well as undertaking the biggest investment in bus services in a decade.
It's not about getting candidates elected, it's about getting more trains, but most importantly, it provides people with plenty of other opportunities. And that's the bit that Mr Buswell, by making those sort of comments, is wanting to deflect away from. What he doesn't want to see is the people of Perth being able to express their anger about the public transport, because then he knows he will have to fix it. And the only way they can fix this problem is to cancel some of those pet projects of the Premier, those self-indulgent projects of the Premier that don't add to the vibrancy of Perth but make the Premier feel good about himself. Look, they can get involved many ways. The simplest way is to go onto the website. We've got it on the flyers that we've been handing out, and it's www.transperthsardines.com. When we've got enough trains on the Perth network, then we can finish this campaign. But I'm not giving up. We'll either convince the Liberal Party to buy more trains, or I will become the Minister of Transport and buy those extra trains.
The Barnett government hasn't released much of a public opinion about the campaign, but let's hope they do listen. With Perth's booming population and many people wanting to catch public transport to lower their carbon emissions, it just makes sense to increase Perth's rail system for a better future. I'm Morgan Pedersen, reporting for Undercurrent.
On behalf of the travelling public, WTV would like to offer Mr Barnett and Mr Buswell a smart rider each to experience the reality of being a Transperth sardine.
Well, next up on Undercurrent, Nick Hayes has a chat with the Mayor of the City of Vincent, Alana McTiernan.
Alana, last time we spoke, you announced the fact that you were going to run for the Mayor of Vincent. Now you're the Mayor. How's it going?
Oh, it's very interesting. It's pretty hectic. There's a lot happening, and we've got a council that's very keen to get a lot done. We're really working to rejuvenate our town centres, to give them a sort of a bit of a makeover. We've got lots of development applications. We've got lots of planning challenges. We've done some structural reform in the council. So yeah, we're really busy.
It's no longer the town of Vincent, it's the City of Vincent?
For the time being, with the City of Vincent, we of course may well disappear if the local government reform program goes ahead. Probably the most likely outcome is that we would be re-amalgamated into Perth. Now, we think that we can function well as we are, but we do recognise that there are some advantages of getting bigger, as long as we maintained some good structures to ensure that people had a real sense of community, and as long as they didn't make the City of Perth too big.
There are many rumours around town that you are very much involved with the State Labor Party, in particular Mark McGowan.
Oh, look, I've been a good friend of Mark for a long time, and I was very pleased to see Mark take over the leadership. I think we definitely needed some new energy and a new voice up there at the top, and Mark is turning around the perception of the Labor Party, and there's some very good people in that team, and I'm hoping that it is making politics in Western Australia competitive again. Is there any chance that Mark McGowan now has tapped you on the shoulder to bring you back in the fold? No, look, I don't think it would be appropriate for me to go back into the State Parliament. That's sort of really, I don't have any plans to do that. As I say, I think there's some good people there. We just got to make sure we select the best people for the task, both as members of Parliament and as the Shadow Cabinet. Last time we spoke, we talked about Tony Abbott and what you thought of him. There's a very good chance now that he might become the next Prime Minister. What do you think that'll mean? Oh, look, I think that would be a very bad day for Australia. I mean, party politics aside, I just think there's a man who is totally guided by whatever it takes, and I have grave doubts about the direction in which he would take Australia. I think he has run an incredibly negative vision for Australia and has been prepared to compromise our long-term future for his short-term benefit. Alana, the Mayor of Vincent, is this the end of the road for your political career? Is this where you want to finish up? Are there any other ambitions? No, look, I don't really have any further ambitions. I think you've always got to leave open the possibility that something you might change your mind or something else might come up. But I don't have any burning desires to do something else.
Well, that brings us to the end of tonight's episode of Undercurrent at what is the beginning of our celebrations for our second birthday here at WTV. Now, one thing that you might not know is that we make Undercurrent and indeed all of our other programs on a shoestring budget. So to help celebrate our second birthday, we are calling on you to lend us a helping hand by becoming a WTV VIP member. To find out more information, it's really easy. All you have to do is log on to our website at wtvperth.com.au, or why not give us a call. I'm Christy Molliker, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week for more of Western Australia's very own Undercurrent.
Undercurrent, sponsored by John Hughes in Victoria Park. Choose your station before you choose your program. Absolutely.